That inspection, I got this kind of stuff. I got this little thing here, vise. I got these off. Stainless steel braided cable. Got this here, little copper and brass, mostly brass. I would think some brass pieces. And then I got this thing. This was in that little shed. It's actually all aluminum. It's got shelves and stuff in there. Pretty heavy. It's probably 60 pounds, 50 pounds. For aluminum, it's actually quite heavy. I was surprised. A little bit greasy. So, option of doing something with it maybe. So I took the stoves apart, took the backs off, and stripped the wire out. But I also found a depth sounder in the crawl space. Been there for a long time. It was in kind of in the muck and water. So let's open it up and see what's in it. Never know what's in it, right? It's made in Japan. There'll be some cool electronics in there or something for e-waste. Pretty strange, not much in it. It's amazing how these things work. A couple IC chips, a little transformer, some transistors, a lot of resistors and capacitors. Very, very basic actually. Thought it would be a little more spectacular. Are these brass? Yeah, a little bit of brass here. Extension posts. So I get those off. A little bit of brass life. Keep my gloves on. Good little weight on these things and long. These knobs are going to come off. Oh. Yeah, I don't have a little screwdriver that fits in there. Oh well. Knock this off here. Probably you're saying, hey, you could have sold that. Yeah, I could have sold it. Or I could have sold to someone and then had to return the money because it was sitting in water and it was broken and it was thrown under there for a reason, right? I'd rather just take it apart, show my viewers what's in it, and then don't worry about someone saying, well, I sold junk, broken stuff. Yeah, it's a shame I can't get those knobs off because it would have been nice to get it. Rubber seal. Anyways, you got the point. I destroyed it, but it's just controls here mainly. I was just gonna scrap it anyways, so I'm gonna trace the wire here. And the speaker. So basically, yeah, if I had the right screwdriver, which I don't have, I could have found one, but it's okay. Okay, so this is the main unit here. It sits on a mortar, rotating mortar for some reason. Mortar rotates. Surprised no IC chips. Piece of aluminum here. Scrap aluminum. with a mortar. With a very fine screwdriver to take the mortar out. That one has come out. Okay, different size. So a little mortar, scrap life. See how much copper's in the mortar. Excuse me. There it is, okay. There it is. See a little copper mortar. Right. It's hard to cut this stuff strong. It's a little mortar, plastic. Not a lot in here. I don't see any crystals in there either. Well, I see one crystal here, I would think. Not a lot in there, guys. I thought there'd be a lot of icy chips and different things, but this must have been a really old one. Old school. Crow keeps coming by. Hey! See him there? He's my stalker, right there. Every time I'm out doing something, this crow comes around all the time. It's right there on the roof there. That. Okay, sorry guys. 2 crystal oscillators, that's it. 2 IC chips, a couple transistors, and the smaller transistors, the black plastic ones. I'm not sure what this could be crystal also. Bit of a fail. Okay, so let's start ripping this off here quickly. This has two big wires here that are, I'm gonna strip them separate. These ones, number 1 gauge, right? The ones with the light bulbs, they don't have a snap on there, so I have to cut them off. And then the ones that have the ground, cut those too. This ground was off actually. Could have affected it maybe. This is copper. Right there, copper. You'll get probably 2 of them. Maybe another one here on this side. So don't forget to pull these out. They're copper. Number 2 copper. Right there, see that? Okay. Bare copper here. Put that over there. A little bit of wire, not a lot, but still, nevertheless, was still wire. Let's pop these switches off. one's a digital one, so it's probably really don't really need it anyways, but this has two good wires again, 12 gauge. Those ones use a stripping machine to take them apart. Okay, this one here, like I say, you know, you could top it off, I would think. That one's hard to clean. It's in there for now. Okay, so we'll just grab the switches off. I'm taking the switches because there's copper and there's a little bit of brass and there's silver contacts, which I've been taking them for a long time, so it's just something I could do all the time. May not get much silver out of it, but I just keep doing it anyways. So where did my screw go? Oh, there it is. Okay. A little wire here, but a bit of a pain getting it. Okay. So basically that's all I strip on these things. I mean, there's a little bit of wire here, but no biggie really. Some of these go up, but some of them are screwed in there, so just seems to be a little bit of headache just getting them out. That's why I don't really bother. You can pull the wire, and they do bend. Right. A little bit of wire, but not a lot. I just say it's not really worth it, to be honest. Okay, I got a bunch of microwaves I got to strip, so I'm gonna dump my truck down in a minute once it's all ready to go, and I'm gonna top this off in my truck. Okay, for this 12 gauge, I save them from all the stoves because it's good. It's good material. Okay, I'll turn it on and I'll show you. There it is. Sometimes you miss the roller. It doesn't want to do it right away. There it is. Stripped in seconds, you know, and it's heavy. Versus, you know, the other stuff, 14 gauge. That's like 12, maybe, I would say 12 at least. This is fairly heavy. But what I did is, I have more here, see? All this is that from stoves, thick ones, right? So when I have a chance and a little bit of time, I'll strip them. The copper's a little bit low right now, pricing, so I think it's like about 310 for number 1 right now, so it's low. Okay, that's what I show you. That's why I save all those. Okay. Microwave. You know it's heavy. One side's heavy. You know the transformer's on one corner, so there's 4 screws on the one corner. So you pop them off right away before you even do anything. Pop them off. There, you can feel transformer left, and then when you do, go like this. Got a turnstile mortar, so usually one. Pop it off, and then you go to the back like this. 2 screws here with a fan, the cooler cools down the magnetron. 2 screws here. There's usually a safety screw. You can't get it unless you have the right tool for it. I don't have a tool for it. So what you can do is you can hit it with the pliers. You can bash with a hammer. That's it. It's open. Okay, before you go and touch anything in here, capacitor. Don't touch the capacitor. If you got gloves, you have a good chance of not getting a shock. So what I usually do is I just cut the capacitor. I mean, usually it grounds out. Like you can try to ground it out or whatever. I mean, I wouldn't worry too much. People worry about it so much, but as long as you're not putting your bare hands on the 2 leads of the capacitor. This is obviously not going to be copper. So I open a million of these things. No copper. Just a heavy piece of metal. There may be copper on one side, but I find lots of times there's no copper at all. So it either has it or doesn't have it. So, and then you'll have to pull this out here, try to cut some leads off it. I've showed this probably a million times, but I got so many newer viewers that are popping up all the time, and they're all interested in scrapping and learning. So this one here got 2 screws. 1, 2. That releases the whole mortar. I don't know if this would be copper. I don't know. I just don't. I just throw it in the garbage pile, like when I take it in for mortars. I don't think that's copper, to be honest. That color. Usually, you know, my experience. But it's up to you what you want to do on that one. So now we'll cut this lead here, a couple there, cut that, maybe cut this, there's a little fuse here. You can just cut it away so it's not contaminating your wire. That, and then you got a bunch of things here like a ball of wire, and they're in little clips and so on. You can yank them out. What I do is I usually just cut off all these little relays and different things that are just not worth really anything. but you know, just goes back kind of in a shred. Back into the microwave. A little ball of wire. And then what I do is here, I knock off this transformer, big screwdriver. Usually it's super easy. I don't know why this one's hard, but anyways. Some a little bit harder. See, it popped out fairly easy, but I had some that popped out just in one little tug. You just cut whatever wire you want to venture for. And like I say, inside these magnetron, there's actual little bit of piece of brass in there, some aluminum, a couple of magnets, but sometimes that insulator could have beryllium in there, and beryllium is a cancer-causing agent if you breathe the dust in. So my advice is, you know, you can't sell it anyways, or a hard sell, but if you want to venture, go ahead, but just don't break the insulator. Just want to take out this IC chip here and its crystal oscillator. I'm not sure if there's any gold, but there is some transistors. Sometimes transistors have gold in there. Quite a few transistors in this one. So basically that's the way I leave this one. Done deal. So that's about the best you can get out of that one. Okay, so I got 3 more to strip, but I just want to show you as new subscribers and stuff how you're going to do that. Okay, some sort of warming thing for rice or something like that. The steamer. So why I take these apart is because there's a cast aluminum heating element in there, and the heating element to me is worth a lot more than this tin I'm gonna get, right? Tin right now is like about 7 cents a pound right now, and going down. So basically, I knock out the center part, the center here. A little squished here. Push these 2 in. And I'll take these off here. Just a couple screws just to look a little nicer. So that's cast aluminum here. It's got a metal core in here. It can't get out. Don't even bother. Just doesn't pay your time. A little bit of wire here, not a lot, but since you got this far, you might as well pop it off. And you have a steel, that's all steel. And then what you'll do is some of this wire, I'm not sure if it's even going to be wire. It could also be steel wire or something. This looks like a piece of brass to me, but when we put the magnet on, we'll see. Since I'm here, I'm going to clean the rest. Okay. Always have a magnet with you. It's actually got a contact here. Could be a silver contact, possibly, who knows. This also came with a microwave. That's copper. When you see with the copper color like that, you know it's copper. That's the motor here sealed. I usually sell them the way they are. And also you get a coil like that, and then you unwind the coil, smash it apart a bit, and unwind it. Okay, so let's move on to like a DVD player of some sort here. Ideally, take all screws out first. What I want here is the board. All I care about is the board. The board I want for possible gold recovery, IC chips, who knows what else might be in there. Sometimes you'll find a hard drive. So on this one here, I need to get this. All these have to come off. Where the inputs go for your TV and all that. I'm not sure what those plugs are called. Like Cablevision type, the old Cablevision stuff. So let's see if I can loosen this with this. All you have to just loosen just enough so you can turn it. Well, being a DVD player, you usually have a good board in there, and if it's an old one, the IC chip alone is what you really want. Okay. You can put also, see, these are brass. That's steel. One was brass. It's weird how one was brass. Only that's brass. Two are brass. So maybe for the where the actual Cablevision inputs are, they're brass. Pop these off like that. There should be like a bunch of screws. Let me see, two handy here. Okay, well, there it is. So ideally what I would do, take the crystal oscillator off, take the two IC chips. There's three IC chips that you really want. There's a transistor with a heatsink over here. So basically for gold recover, all I would do is take off three IC chips, maybe that IC chip. The transistor I would pop off, maybe a little bit of plating here, but most of this plating, to be honest, will be really low grade, but it is plating there. And there's RS-232. So, but that's a board. And then you'll have a little power board here, which is a little bit rusty. But since you're, you know, all you're doing is you're recycling the materials, so you don't have to be too fussy. Smash the board apart if you have to. Cut that off there. Cut that one there. And then you have a transformer, another uncoily. You can uncoil this transformer, which probably has quite a bit of little copper wire in there. One sealed, and then two, well, you have one aluminum heatsink here. And then you have diodes and just other stuff that you can just throw in the shred, basically. I don't take nothing out of the dial here. I always leave the dial the way it is. I used to take them all apart, but there's really nothing in there that I need. So that's all scrap metal. This wire here. Okay, now let's see how this one comes apart. Okay, screws in the back. Sometimes there's screws in the back. I'll take the fan screw off. Basically, all screws that you see, pop them off. Don't let them sit there. Otherwise, you're just fighting them later. See, there's quite a bit here. And this thing, I think, might be a DVD player. I'm not sure. Most of the face is gone. I'm not sure what it is actually. Some sort of player. Sometimes you can pop the face off. There it is. Plastic. Yeah, it looks like a DVD player. Some kind of plating here. And this thing, like a card reader, you can throw that there. So you have another nice board. So DVD player will have a riser plate where you knock the 4 screws off, and that will be basically it. And I'll just throw this stuff and mix it in with the crap wire. So this is usually just the mechanism here. I just throw in a shred basically. But here's another board. I have one screw here, I see only one screw. Power board. Looks like a power board, I'm not sure if it's a power board. So if you had, you know, like 30 or 40 of these things, you can whack them out really quick. Just cut all the copper wire, wherever. You got another power board. More heat sinks, coiled copper, which is nice. 2 transformers, heat sinks, so good little power board. This one here. some sort of audio or something. There's a lot of heat sinks here for some reason in one spot. All you have to do is just knock out the 4 screws underneath. Most heat sinks will have screws holding the heat sink in there. So, and then when you knock the heat sink out, you have to loosen the transistors. Okay, so what it was actually, it had little ICs, power ICs, I think, right there. See there, the power ICs. Then you have a crystal oscillator here, and then the MLCCs. You got a couple of MLCCs. Those are worth taking off. I stockpile those. The one screw I missed. Same with this here, more IC chips. 3 major IC chips, crystal oscillator, a couple of those, MLCCs, these little things, monolithic capacitors. So anyways, more IC chips here. A gold corner chip, more IC chips. These are good chips here. So I mean, I would just take them all off. That's what I would do for my gold recovery. What you want to do is you can sell the board the way it is, whoever buys boards in your area. I don't have any buyers, to be honest. So I don't really want none of this here. This will go to shred. All that metal. This is plastic. We'll recycle this. This I'll throw that in shred. But yeah, and then what I do with this one here, there's a copper mortar here. They may not take the whole fan, so I cut 4 corners off. And I cut deep so the wire comes in one shot. Then what I do, I would just go like this. I would just twist them, bend these things off. There, you get a little copper mortar, throw it in a copper bucket because it's not really worth stripping. Okay, that's it on these ones for now. All 4 transformers, basically the main side's no copper, so I mean if the other side's copper, that's so I'll let it go. But if they were both sides copper, I would take them. So basically nothing there. Also on the Magnetron or whatever you want to call it, there's a cap over here, and there's still a little bit of copper here, but you have to be careful you don't damage that insulator. So I just, you can just stretch it out like this, right? And then you can unwind the copper, providing it is copper. Just never know, but it's pretty tough stuff, so it probably is copper. See that? A little bit of copper wire, see? You cut in half here to see. Yeah, it's copper, so it's amazing. A little winding like that is, it's got a copper, and it's pretty heavy copper. Partially glued on one side, but piece of wire there. Like I never take these off, so I just happen to. Because I can't sell the Megatrons. I tried to see if anybody or any value. They just sit going to shred. So, but there's a little bit of wire. See that? It's not a lot, but if you taking them apart, they're there, right? Knock off that board. I just don't know if any of these IC chips have gold in them. I don't know, but one day I'll probably adventure that a little more. So 4 microwaves gone. So like I say, 3 had copper mortars. 1 had suspect copper turnstiles. Turnstiles are there. These little transformers, they're really good actually. Start taking apart, there's a fair amount of copper in them. I used to scrap them all thinking they're not worth nothing, but no. They're actually quite a bit of copper. If you start taking them apart, you'd be amazed the amount of copper inside them for the size. Did a video about, I don't know, a week ago, I took one apart. It was pretty amazing, so. Adds up pretty quick. Different boards and copper and all that, right? Okay, let's move on something else. Maytag here, 2 screws each side. So I pop the main main board out. I'll take main screws. Sometimes with the force that I'm holding, you can take the whole harness out. Looks like I might have got the whole harness. Yeah, look at that, whole harness. Got lucky on that one. Probably just better just pull them out. Gets the brass leads also, otherwise all the brass, I'm not getting nothing for it versus getting at least 80 cents. 80 for the brass. A nice little wire harness. But I kind of want to get, I think the frame is aluminum, I believe. A little different style, this one, but it's generally the same process. Let's get down here. Two wires off. It's not bad for wire. Yeah, this one I have to unscoop all over the place, I think. Some are so easy, right? They just pop right off, but it's a little more challenging, but I got it off. I thought that was cast sides, are actually not cast. And also, like I say, you got a motor here, timer motor type thing. Pick up all this crap around the middle. So I got one skin. Not too bad. But also, these things are got a metal connection points. So to pop these off with brass. It's endless what you want to do, right? Just minor things like that, but and the wire is the biggest highlight. You just go like this, pull these leads completely out. See that, guys? Pulls the lead right out of the whole plastic and everything. Without really getting too many tools involved. That's there. So there's little tricks you can do, right? But you know, sometimes, you know, when you're really busy, you don't have time to do any tricks. That's it, basically all the leads. Saw some piece of brass here. It's still the odd piece here and there, huh? These are copper, not brass, these ones. So anyways, you've seen a little extra. If you pluck a lot of those, look how much little brass you got. Brass and copper, see that? And this is pretty heavy actually. Okay, I got the appliances on now. That actually has aluminum on the inside, but too hard to get out. I got dismantled all completely, so I don't bother. But this was nice to get this off here. I was surprised there was a fair amount of wire I got out. So that might be the trick, is unloosen it, then pull the wire out. Is you have more leverage with the weight of the bar and all that, right? The facial plate. So that was good. But sometimes it's hard, right? It depends, right? This was easy. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is close this up. I have stuff at my rental property there. I'm going to probably but not today, just a Sunday. I don't like too much noise there, banging big things around. But the rest of the small stuff I can probably put it on myself, right? Like, you know, I got chairs there and some other small metals and so on. I'm gonna get some stuff ready. I need to make some room if I get those 50 computers coming Monday. So that's the biggest thing, is getting those computers, and I need 20 laptops. I just want to put it all separately on a pallet. I don't want to confuse it to the other ones that I have already, because I want to see what the value is on that. Because most of the better stuff's taken out, right? It's mostly boards and DVD drives and different things like that, CD drives and so on. Okay. A couple of screws here in the ground. I want to get a flat tire later. Okay, a lot of guys like to see the bin go up and stuff, so we'll see. Start it up. So basic procedure, like I say, bins on the ground. Okay, that's your safety switch. Turn that off, and that's like your PTO right there. That engages transmission or whatever gears and works onto a compressor, like a hydraulic compressor. Okay, I was just gonna mention, get over here where it's not so noisy. This is called a 3-foot hook lift truck. It's a hook lift and it's a 5500 GMC, but it's like a Hino. It's originally like a Hino. It's got a really good motor. It's a diesel, so very good truck, reliable, 7 years. Only change the brakes. That's it. Okay. Umbrella. A couple scooters. Not too bad actually. They're kind of rusty. Beat up a bit. Yeah, no shortage of scrap metal. Where you go, there's always something somewhere. Not square hoop here. Hey, how you doing? Garbage, right? Yeah, thanks. Scrap metal. I'll top my load off. Exercise bike here. There it is. Something up the road here, just a little further. Let's see what it is. See what it is up here. It looks like it's a little water bottle dispenser for animals, maybe. Yeah, it's just nothing. Okay, I just want to show you Christmas lights like this, 15 cents a pound. So when you do this, 80 cents a pound. See that? Cut the sockets off. So I mean, it's whatever's worth your time. I mean, but it makes a big difference in cost, right? 80 cents is good versus, you know, 15 cents. I hate these cutters. They're so awkward. They're bent. And I don't have the right feel like the other one. Can't find the other one. But also, if you need to get a needle nose pliers, you can pull out the little brass tip in here, probably. I would think, maybe. Who knows? But that's another day, another project. Just seeing how much waste ratio there is. But like I say, if you're not, you don't have a lot of scrap, and you got, you know, you can spend a little, you know, a couple hours here and just clean them. I would say it's worth it. With that big of a difference, you know, 15 cents to 80 cents. I think it's worth it myself. Some are harder. Some have like there's lights every couple inches, right? So then it's a bit of a pain. But these are spread out every 8 inches, I guess. Very awkward pair of cutters. I don't know why. A plumber electrician guy threw them away. They're probably too bent, and I didn't like the. You constantly got to turn the thing over to cut it straight. So, like I say, whatever's worth your time. But most of those machines, they can granulate all the stuff. They got machines that do it. You read the specs. They say crystallites, so. Like I say, that little string, it's got quite a bit of weight. It's pretty heavy stuff. It's probably only like maybe 50% copper, but not bad weights, right? Compared to a couple. So I think, you know, if you got time, you can do it, right? Okay, it took about 10 minutes. I had 4 big bundles there. So there's plugs or sockets. I'm not sure if you can get the aluminum mounts or the brass. It looks like brass almost. It's really soft. It's not crunchy, so Let's see if I can get just a little bit out. I just have to find the needle nose pliers. Okay. Oh, I see. There's a little trick to this here, actually. I never knew this. You could get the brass out, but there's a trick to this here. Oh. See this thing here? You have to knock these off. The wire comes out, look at that, without even cutting nothing and losing anything. Never even knew that. See guys, you learn something every day. Pliers suck.
That's what I figured.
Shut up. I wonder if you can even just pull them off. No, not really. These pliers are suck. There, see that? Wow. There's a way of getting them off without even cutting anything. So, you know, whatever's worth your time, right? If it's worth your time. Probably be easier just to cut than to fighting this, but you're not losing no wire if you cut it, if you do it like this. Because after a while, if you have a good tool, you get good at it, right? Like anything else, practice. It's perfect. So guys, new way of pulling this stuff off. If you guys maybe knew it already, possibly. I never knew this, because I would have never wasted my time with these. See, the better you get, it's just so simple. See that, guys? Look at that. You can actually bite it by the wire, edge of the wire, and turn it. So what you're doing is using the wire to force it open. See that? See that, guys? Use the wire to force it open. Oops. There it is. Professional. Okay, guys, new way of doing Christmas lights, but this is only a certain style, right? The ones that have the teardrop type, there's millions of cuts in that one. Okay, guys, looks like I'm cleaning all the stuff here, and then the end result is it'll look like a one bare long wire. Won't even look like a Christmas light cuts, you know, like how they're cut in a million pieces. See, you just learn through like trying, right? It's always just practicing, right? So I'm gonna definitely clean these. The way they come off, easy. Okay, my little buddy, the crow buddy, right there. Oh, there he is. Take it off. He likes hanging around here. Follows me everywhere. There he is, gone. Okay, so I'm taking some taps off right now. I'm gonna get all this stuff tomorrow scrapped in the truck to fill my truck up. Taking the taps off and cutting whatever wires and stuff. So again, and I'm using this area here for computers. That's why I'm kind of cleaning the area up. See, all the stuff adds up. You just throw it all in a container. And you'll have a whole load, heavy load in no time. I was thinking of going out to mission, but I'm just gonna not go today anyways. I'm a little bit tired. It's a little bit of a far drive to go up there, so you know it's probably as far as Tawasin, or no, maybe not as far, but probably a little farther. But the highways are lousy there. They're not as good. That's the highway, that new highway they built there. New highway's really good, fast. It's a container highway, basically. Container trucks. But it's so fast. There's my crow buddy right there. He's stalking me, I'll tell you. He's always around. He doesn't make too much noise. Some crows, they yell and scream all day long. No, he's pretty good. He makes a growling noise somehow. Sometimes, so. I hate these ones when they're just tight all the way to the end. Anyways, take this off, a few more sinks, cut out a couple of things apart. Take the 2 fans out of those hoods, the fan motors. And then figure what I'm going to keep here. What I have to sell the way it is. Okay, it's former in it. But this band here is brass. So I'm definitely popping these off. Because it's got a heavy gauge. Heavy gauge brass. You know, it's pretty heavy stuff. I'm not sure how I'm going to derive it out. If I can just snip it or just cut around it, but I'll worry about it after. But it's brass. I put a magnet on it, so that's a good. What time is this rivet? You can always drill it out if I have to. You would have never knew, like, looked like maybe, well, it could have been aluminum, right? But, anyways, the brass. Okay, now we have a little transformer here. Pop it off quickly. Looks like it's on an aluminum base also. Aluminum. Never would have knew that. Almost threw it in a shred the way it was. So I'm taking like that's basically worthless. Taking apart and getting all this good stuff out of here. Aluminum, brass, transformer. Okay, it's basically clean aluminum. And then we have a transformer. Looks like it's riveted, some of it. Socket partially riveted, but sure, you can get it off. I have to put no vise or something, but it's definitely a transformer, so it's a little added value there. Brass, transformer, aluminum. Okay, that's that. There. It's got to go underneath the base of it, where the bracket meets the rivet. Just cut it. There it is. There it is, transformer. So pretty good. I think I might have two like that, I'm not sure, but these I'll clean a little later. Okay. I don't think it would be brass, but it's the copper. Put a brand new bit on here now. Just wanna heat that. And put a other bit on there. It doesn't want to strip like. So yeah, 4 of those. Here's the fuse panel itself. Where fuses these are. But added value, you gotta take them apart. These get brass or copper rods out. Copper. It looks almost like brass. I don't know, but I don't think they would use brass, but just never know. This comes off. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't see a nut on this side here for some reason, but must be copper and brass, because you can clearly see copper, you clearly see brass. Let's see, so you have to knock it apart. I almost think this would turn or something. It doesn't seem to want to turn. Not sure what's going on here. I guess electrician would know better. Taking these apart all the time. Maybe an old school one. Old school electrician guy would know. Because they don't use this type of fuses too often. Not today's electrical. I mean, they do have sub panels that got fuses here and there and stuff, but all I can do is just pry it off. But you'll see it's actually a good value. Got a nice little rod there. That's why I'm stripping it. Some don't have rods like this, some are just aluminum. Oh, it's so tight here. Could be brass screws and stuff, so you have to really check it before you start hucking stuff away. Put a magnet on it, here it comes loose. So you get a nice rod here. So you have two rods like that. So the value is pretty good. I think it's worth stripping, right? You just strip it apart and put it in your, you could almost get number one for this, I would think. Number one. And this one, I would just keep cutting it. Wear your gloves anyways, and a little bit of eye protection. Here's copper and brass mixed in there. See, that's copper. This is brass, and it's almost like the fuse separated or something. I've never seen a fuse like that. See, it's brass. So anyways, you know, I think it's worth it. Just spend your time. So anyways, so you have to, you know, take them out, take it apart, take that band off. Okay, there's too much here. Take them apart, take your band off, and you got your rods. I'll show you the pile at the end. And copper. This one I filed here. It looks. I don't think it looks like brass, to be honest. It doesn't look like any copper. So I guess where the fuse bar goes to the fuse, if they went copper, maybe it would corrode. They had left the same metals. Not bad. Out of a little fuse box, right? It's worth if you have a little time, it's worth it. Shelf. I don't know if I can get it all, but I'll take some of it. It's a piece of aluminum here.